Welcome back to Crave the Planet. In this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know to stand on the roof of North Africa, Mount Toubkal. It's awesome because number one, it's inexpensive. Number two, it's right by Marrakesh. It's only about an hour and a half drive, and there are plenty of connections to get to Marrakesh. So the first thing to know is that you absolutely must have a guide. Do not show up there thinking you can hike it on your own because you'll get turned away, or you'll have to find a guide at the last minute and it'll be more expensive. We went with a company called Skyhook who arranged local tour guides. They created a nice itinerary for us where we drove at 8 o'clock at night to the village of Imlil and stayed at a lovely riad, a hotel that was pretty comfortable, and they have the mules and the cook, and they had two guides for us. And we got to sleep in Imlil, which is about 1,700 meters, to get acclimated a bit. The next day we did a about 8-mile hike. It was fairly easy but uphill the entire way to the Refuge Toubkal, and we stayed the night there at 3,200 meters. From Toubkal Refuge, it's 6 kilometers to the peak, and this is the highest peak in all of North Africa, so it's pretty amazing. 5 people that were staying with us at the refuge did not make it due to altitude problems. So I would highly recommend to create at least a 3-day itinerary so that you can slowly get used to the altitude if you're not used to it. So on the morning of your ascent, you'll probably get up around 4:30, or get started by 4 or 4:30 to reach the summit by sunrise. The summit is very, very cold, so definitely be prepared, even in the summer months. The guides recommended not to go in July and August, but the entire rest of the year it's available for hiking, which is really great because a lot of the Alps locations or other, sort of like North Hemisphere stuff is difficult to do. It's really cool. It's like one of the most awesome hut-to-hut hikes that I've ever done, and I did it in December with my daughter and some friends, and we made new friends with the tour group as well. So there were a total of 8 of us. I think you can hire a private guide as well if you wanted to go just by yourself or just with like your own personal friends. So other things that are really important to know is that even though it's Africa and it's really hot in the valleys, the peak is very, very cold and especially windy. I watched one of the people with us get blown over like 5 times, like literally picked up and blown. And our guide said that it wasn't especially windy. It was only a 6 out of 10 wind day when we went, and it was the most wind I've ever been in. Now, granted, I don't live in a tornado place, but anyway, make sure to bring extra layers and perhaps maybe not shoes to hike in, but boots for the summit day. What you'll do is you'll go from the Refuge Toubkal up to the summit and then back to the refuge, so you can change your shoes out there. I noticed the guides had on really stiff hiking boots and not so much like hiking shoes like you would on a normal hut trek in the Alps or Dolomites. Additionally, something to keep track of your hair so your hair's not blowing around and in your face, and some small gloves so you can actually operate your camera once you get to the top and it's really cold. As far as other equipment, bring a nice headlamp and bring a second headlamp. Mine actually died halfway through, and thank goodness I was with a big group of people, and they kind of helped me, obviously. It's very, very dark. So you absolutely need to have backups for your headlamps. And of course, like wind gear. I would say that this is a great, all in all, it's not that hard, especially for summiting an incredibly high mountain. It is very rocky though, and windy and cold. So just be prepared for that. The nice thing about hiring the guide that we did is that they cooked us meals along the way. So halfway up the mountain, we stopped at a little kind of like a hut, I guess, and they pulled out their cooking gear and they made us a beautiful tagine with meatballs and kufta and all kinds of yummy salad and mint tea. Now, if you're looking for a glass of wine or a celebratory shot of whiskey at the top, you're not gonna find that. You're gonna have to pack that in yourself. And yeah, I think it's just a fantastic trip and I highly recommend it, especially for beginners. I would say beginner mountaineers. I wouldn't want to be a total beginner hiker and do this because it is a lot of elevation. We're going from 1700 to 4200 and back, kind of out and back in the space of really 2 days, 2 full days. Sleeping in the village in the middle of the night before you get started is a great idea too. That way you don't have to go from the elevation of Marrakesh all the way up to 3,000 in 1 day. That's probably where other people went wrong with the altitude. Honestly, my daughter's 15 and myself, we've never been that high before. Probably 2,800 was the highest we had been. We had no problems whatsoever. So yeah. Anything else to know? I think, so the lady that I met that didn't have a guide, she found one at the last minute in her hostel in Imlil, and it was about 100 euros. But she had to pack her own food. And that wasn't really cool because when you get up to the refuge, it's basically kind of like a dormitory, and your guides will bring the food and the cooking utensils, cooking devices, the gas, the stoves, everything. So she had to eat kind of pretty basic food. Also, do not plan to sleep in the refuge. Really stock up on sleep ahead of time. The refuge is packed, it's loud, it's farty, it's snory, it's hot, and the toilets are kind of gross. But for a refuge on the top of a mountain at 3,000 meters, it's pretty awesome. And my favorite part were the puppies. Okay, I would say definitely try to pair this with some culture in Imlil, in the village. You can shop, they have, you know, like little mountain rug shops and adorable like restaurants and this walkway that goes through. It's very cool. And of course, Marrakesh, there's plenty to do there, so. All right, well, thank you for watching. I actually created 2 more videos to show the experience. So day 1, you know, I'm counting day 1 as the first day, not the night before just going to sleep in Imlil. But you'll often see like 4-day itineraries, but that first day really is just the night before, just getting there and eating and sleeping. But day 1 experience and then the summit day experience. And the fourth day really is just having breakfast and taking the bus back to Marrakesh. Thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe.